Morning glory, morning glory, de vede sunt roșiorii.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Wow. It works. It's chaos, you know. It's the first time we have the radio show, so it's a debut. Well, you came
Where were you last night?
No. I was preparing myself for meeting you, so I asked myself all the questions, all the necessary questions. I liked very much a quote from Marcel Proust. You speak how many languages right now?
9.
9. So there were 8.
A while ago.
A while ago, yeah. And you make therapy?
I work in 7.
In 7? Oh my God. Which are they?
I lecture or do therapy or teach in French and in Dutch and in German and in Spanish and in Hebrew and in Portuguese and in English. Is that 7?
Yes, they should be. So let me find the quote. It's our imagination who's responsible for love, not the other person. This is a quote from Marcel Proust.
Yes, it's a quote I love very much.
Why?
Because it speaks to the fact that to love is a verb, and it is an active verb, and it is filled with your own illusions and disillusions and perceptions that you project onto another person, and that love often involves an imaginative experience in which you also have sometimes to deal with your own self-deception.
Is this linked also to the entitlement that appears into a couple's life? Someone feels entitled to be loved, to be respected, to be the one.
I think that the entitlement of love is very much a modern phenomenon. We deserve to be somebody's chosen person. And we also feel that we deserve to find our soulmate. Never have we invested more in love as we do today, and never have we divorced more in the name of love as we do today.
It's a sad statistic or just a statistic? Do you think love is different today from 50 years ago or 70 years ago?
The feeling of love itself is not different, but marriage was not about love for most of history. And especially, I've come to Romania since 1979.
Oh.
This is my 4th time. And you can literally see how the expectations that people bring to their intimate lives have changed dramatically. You know, for a long time, until recently, marriage here was for children, family life, economic support, companionship, and social status. It was a rather pragmatic institution. Now, marriage is a romantic arrangement in which I don't just want to satisfy the basic needs for survival, but I don't just want belonging and companionship. I want self-actualization. I want you to help me become the best version of myself.
Oh, yes. So do you often laugh and read and laugh this kind of inspirational quote about love,
No.
which is the dumbest?
No, I don't, because the good relationships of today,
Yes.
says Eli Finkel in his beautiful book, The All or Nothing Marriage, is that the good relationships of today are better than all the relationships of the past. The problem is that many of us do not reach the new Olympus.
Why?
Because today we are asking one person to give us what once an entire village used to provide. I want to have with you the family life, the stability, the economic support of the past, but I also want you to be my best friend and my trusted confidant and my passionate lover all in one. That's
which is not bad, which is a very beautiful wishful thinking. Anyway, but is it we are living the consumerism also in the marriage field? In
absolutely.
Love? Is it ever something enough? Can we get enough?
So we are experiencing a fascinating parallel shift between what is happening at home and what is happening at work. We have brought market economics into our romantic lives, and we literally can go on an app and choose between 1,000 people, which is very different from rural Romania where you could choose between 2 people. And you need to be able to manage your FOMO, and you need to be able to know that you have found the one on an app. And that app you will delete when you have found the person that makes you stop looking. So we brought market economics to romantic love, but we also have brought the world of emotion to the workplace. For the first time, we talk about belonging and trust and authenticity and transparency in companies.
Is modern love different from ancient love? Is this the one aspiration, the one that I should meet and be with all my life long, similar to the romantic, something that poets and writers evoked in...
It's different not in its feeling. It's different in where you go looking for it. Passion and love have always existed, but they existed outside of marriage. If it was in the marriage, it happened to be an accident. It was a nice addition. It wasn't what you pursued. So that's the first major change. We brought love to marriage. Then we brought sex to love and marriage. Then we connected sexual satisfaction with marital happiness. Then we brought happiness down from the heavens, which it used to be a reward in the afterlife if you suffered well on earth. And now we want to be happy here as a mandate, not just as an option. And we live twice as long.
But milk doesn't have that taste anymore.
Meaning?
Nothing has that taste anymore. The nostalgia for the past, where things were...
No, but
like,
the past
like
is not a beautiful thing. You know, most people lived in a marriage in the past, and the marriage had no exit. You married once for life. We used to marry and have sex for the first time. Today we marry and we stop having sex with others. Mm-hmm. We used to be stuck, and basically death was what liberated you from your misery. There was no exit. Today, we actually, for the first time, we can leave. We can leave situations that are miserable, that are oppressive, that are violent, that are abusive. It's not a bad thing. But we don't just leave anymore because we are unhappy. We sometimes leave because we think we could be happier.
Why do happy married people cheat?
People cheat for a multitude of reasons. Some of them find their roots in the misery of their relationship. Loneliness, rejection, major sexual frustration. That group of motivations we already know. But what I discovered when I wrote the book Rethinking Infidelity, which is now out in Romanian as well, is that people in satisfying relationships also sometimes find themselves transgressing. Because when you pick a partner, you pick a story. And sometimes you find yourself in a play that you did not audition for. So what people have told me all over the world is that when they transgress, they often find themselves for the first time in a long time feeling alive. Because it is primarily a transgression of the rules that you yourself sometimes created. And so they say this very, very important line for me, which is that when I look to another partner, to another person, it isn't because I wanted to leave the one I'm with, but I wanted to leave who I have myself become. And it's not that I'm looking for another person, but I'm looking for another self or lost parts of myself.
Astea sunt, pentru cei care ne ascultă acum, niște momente din... discutăm acum despre două cărți. Una dintre amândouă a apărut la Curtea Veche, se numesc cea despre care vorbim acum într-un mod deloc voalat, Regândirea infidelității, și cea de-a doua este Inteligența erotică.
Morning Glory on Rock FM.